BSN is the Bluff Sports Network.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday night edition of Cougar Basketball. We are in the second round of the Region 9 tournament here for the ladies. I am the mailman, Dave Bruns, here in the Logos broadcast booth. Tiffany Hopkins back at our 2002 Shar Avenue studios as we get ready here, just under 10 minutes to play before Lamar takes on the Cougars. Now, these are two teams that have seen each other this year, and it's been all Cougars in both games as WNCC has come out on top against against Lamar. Let me find my sheet here. They played them back in January 17th in Scottsbluff, winning 98-59, and then coming back down at Lamar on February 20th and beating them 94-62. So the Cougars have had their way with this Lamar basketball team. But as everybody knows, coming into the Region 9 tournament, it is a 0-0 sum game coming in with everybody with fresh legs. This is the Bacharach's pregame show. Attention all high school and WNCC students, show your student IDs and get 15% off of meal at Bacharach's. The best lunch specials in town, Bacharach's, located at 1402 East 20th Street in Scottsbluff. And I urge you, as all these teams here are here at the Region 9 tournament, get out to Bacharach's. It's a great place to eat. We were just there the other night. Great service, great food, great people running around there. As we get going today, we'll talk a little bit about what has gone on in this tournament, as the first round of the tournament was kind of crazy for the WNC Cougars as they pulled up a forfeit on Tuesday night about 10 minutes before game time. Little Bighorn College decided to let everybody know that they only had 6 players on their roster and only 3 of them were eligible to play. So the Cougars, who are the 1 seed in the South, pick up the win by forfeit to give them a 28-2 record coming into this season. On the other side of things, Lamar comes in with a 12-15 record, but picked up a big win last night over Miles Community College, to the number 4 seed in the North, as Lamar picked up the 101-89 victory. Late in that game, it was only 92-87, and Lamar went on quite the run at the end of the game to pick up the win. We'll go over some of the other scores from Tuesday night. Casper picked up the win with the bye, as Northwest College out of Wyoming, the 5 seed, picked up a win over Eastern Wyoming College 82-79. Northwestern would go on to knock off the top seed Casper today in the 1 o'clock game, 74-62. So Northwest Wyoming making a move in that top part of the bracket. Looking down at the bottom part of the bracket, Sheridan knocked off the South 6 seed McCook 69-59, while Northeastern Junior College out of Sterling, Colorado, picked up a 73-52 win over Gillette. NJC would move on today at 3 p.m. with a win over Sheridan, 81-58. In the bottom bracket, Central Wyoming, we just got done watching them win here tonight as they picked up the win against Trinidad on Tuesday, 67-47. And Otero beat Western Wyoming 99-69 on Tuesday. Central picks up the 75-54 win here tonight at Cougar Palace, the game right before the WNCC versus Lamar game. And as I mentioned last night, Lamar beating Miles City 101-89. This is Cougar basketball. We'll come back after a 3-minute break and continue with the Bacharachs pregame report right after this. This is Cougar basketball on Z1013.
Your employees have been working so hard this year, and you want to do something to show your appreciation. Let our team help your team. Scottsbluff Screen Printing has the answer. Company jackets, polos, coffee mugs, phone covers, you name it. We can make it. Let Scottsbluff Screen Printing help you come up with that special gift that says, "We appreciate you." From banners to business cards, corporate apparel, and gifts, we are here to help. Come work with the professionals. Scottsbluff Screen Printing, downtown Scottsbluff.
Wesco is offering our fertilizer program from now until January 10th. Our Wesco prepay program lets producers lock in their fertilizer and crop protection products. This helps control your input cost, which also assists in your marketing decisions. The fertilizer prepay program is just one more way we can help you make the most of your operating dollars. Call your agronomist at Wesco today to lock in your agronomy needs for 2015. Wesco, service, solutions, success.
Wesco's your best value through and through.
Logos on 10th Street in Gearing. Nebraska Transport Company is proud to be able to support our local youth activities for over 40 years. NTC is a name that you know and can trust for all of your shipping needs, from LTL truckload, guarantee and expedited, to full-service logistics solutions, and now our newest division, pneumatic and bulk. If you're looking for a company where you're more than just a driver, we currently have various opportunities for you to join our team. NTC, a company that cares.
PSN, East Bluff Sports Network.
And welcome back to Cougar Palace as we are getting set between Lamar and WNCC here in the second round of the Region 9 tournament. As Lamar, we talked about last night, picking up the win over Otero. They've got three big players on that team as I'm looking over the stats from last night. Khadijah Vigil, number 55 in this game. She was 16 for 24 from the field, 9 from 11 from the free throw line for 41 points to lead Lamar in scoring last night. As far as other players in the stepping up for Lamar last night, Gabriela Jimenez was 2 for 4 from the field goal range, 4 for 7 from the three-point line for 19 points, followed by Ariel Rosa, who is 4 for 5 from field goals with one three-pointer and 7 of 8 from the free throw line for 18 points. As a team, Lamar went to the line 34 times, converted 27 of their free throws last night. So the Cougars will have to play this clean game and get out to a quick start as Lamar finished that game out with 63 points in the second half to run away with the 101-89 win. As we talked about on Tuesday night, WNCC did not play. Little Bighorn College could not make the trip, or they did make the trip, but were unable to play due to ineligibility of some players. So I know Coach Harnish and Coach T had the kids out practicing that night, and watching them work out right now, they're looking pretty fresh, ready to go. I know they've been chomping at the bit to get to this game, as they are the 1 seed in the South. They're going to have a tall order, though, to get through this Lamar team tonight. If they can do that, they will play again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, and they will play Central Wyoming. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout and come back here with more Cougar basketball and the Bacharachs pregame show here in 2 minutes.
At Platte Valley Bank, we work with generations of families. Those families stay with us, not because that's the way it's always been, but because they know we genuinely care about our customers. Our willingness to find a solution with local decisions means your best interest is always our top priority. That is what community banking is all about. local people in our community working for your success. Community banking for you. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
At Scottsbluff Body and Paint, we handle anything from towing, minor dents, and major collision damage with ease. Our investment in state-of-the-art equipment is backed by skilled technicians, trained in the latest repair techniques, and with years of experience. Best of all, we are insurance-friendly and recognized as a direct repair facility for many of the national insurance companies. Scottsbluff Body and Paint, the #1 rated body and paint shop in the Valley, located at 1502 Circle Drive, Scottsbluff.
BSN, Isa Bluff Sports Network.
And welcome back to our Backrax pregame show here. I'm Dave Bruns here in the Logos broadcast booth. Tiffany Hopkins back at our 2002 Shar Avenue studios as they are getting ready now for the national anthem. So I apologize. We will step aside for another 2-minute break and come back with the zone starting lineups here. 2-minute break back here for Cougar basketball on Z1013.
Saving money is much easier when you do it automatically. All you have to do is tell us how much you want to save, and we'll automatically deduct it from your checking account and put it in your savings account. Out of sight, out of mind. It's the easy way to save. Get started with automatic savings today. First State Bank, member FDIC. We're big on you.
We're big on you.
Shank Roofing is here even after the disaster has been cleaned up. Family owned and operated, Shank Roofing stands behind all of their projects. New roof or just a leak, Shank Roofing guarantees. You have our name on it. Call for an appointment today, 632-6156. That's 632-6156.
What sets Century Lumber apart? Well, that's easy. At Century Lumber Center, they're committed to providing their customers with quality products and outstanding service at competitive pricing that you've grown to expect. With a sales staff with over 80 years of experience, they're there to assist you with all of your projects from start to finish. Stop in today and let them help you with all of your hardware and construction needs. Let Century Lumber earn your business today. Century Lumber Center, 1725 East Overland in Scottsbluff.
Where can you start a career that puts you in demand? At Western Nebraska Community College, you can choose from programs designed to launch your career or give it a complete makeover. Class sizes are small, so you get more personal attention with your instructors. Flexible class schedules and online programs make it convenient. Western Nebraska Community College. Start here, get there. Nebraska, Colorado, South Dakota, and Wyoming residents all enjoy our low in-state tuition. Summer classes begin June 2nd. Fall classes begin August 18th.
BSN, Isa Bluff Sports Network.
And welcome back to Cougar Pals as we get set for our zone starting lineups here, brought to you by the Zone at Scottsbluff Screen Printing. In business for the last 20 years, your screen printing headquarters. Stop into the Zone at 1813 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff. Leading things off for Lamar running Lopes will be number 1, Miroslava Rangel, a 5'2 sophomore guard from Lakewood, Colorado, followed by number 3, Ariel Rosa, the 5'5 sophomore guard from Lakewood as well. Going down the list, number 13, Gabrielle Jimenez, the 5'6 sophomore guard from Thornton, Colorado. And she'll be followed by number 23, Selena Quayle, 5'11 sophomore forward from Lakewood. And to round things out, Khadijah Vigil, the 5'11 sophomore forward from East High School in Denver. To round things off, looking at your WNCC Cougars tonight, starting things off will be number 4, Yaliz Dogan, 6'2 sophomore from Izmir, Turkey, followed by Avi Lujan, number 21, 5'11 sophomore from Brighton, Colorado. Ange Vigil, number 22, 5'6 sophomore from Colorado Springs. She'll be followed by number 24, the freshman, 5'9 freshman, Callie Federson from Rawlings, Wyoming. And to round things out, number 42, Lily Havili, number 6'1 sophomore from Salt Lake City, Utah, wearing number 42. That will wrap up our Backrax pregame show as we get set to tip things off here at Cougar Palace. 20 minutes is up on the clock, and we are getting ready to go here in the Logos broadcast booth as it looks like V-Hill will do the jumping duties for Lamar, and Havili will come out center court for the Cougars, followed by her teammates. Cougars will be working from left to right on your radio dial as we get set for the tip, and here we go. Second round action of the Region 9 tournament here, and the ball won by the Cougars as Callie Federson comes up with it down to Lujan. Underneath to Dogan for a quick 2 points. So the Cougars strike first quickly here against Lamar. Now for Lamar coming up with the ball. That's number 3, Ariel Rosa, and she tries to kick it over to number 23, Selena Quayle, but she'll travel. That'll give the ball back to the Cougars, who have a 2-point lead here on our Alex TLC scoreboard. And full court press brought on by Lamar as Lujan gets it down to Vigil. Now Vigil cross court. She works it to the right side now back to Federson. Federson looks for Vigil underneath. Vigil drives to the basket, up and good. So Lily Havili picks up points for the Cougars as Rosa will now send it down to Rangel. Rangel now out to Jimenez. Jimenez for the 3-pointer, nothing but air. But it's picked up underneath by Rangel. Back out to Quayle again, and another 3-point attempt, no good as the Cougars coming back the other way. Dogan to Federson. Now Federson's fouled on the layup, and she was fouled hard. And that's going to be called on Selena Quayle, the 5'11 sophomore. That'll be her first. And it will be a shooting foul, so Federson will go to the line. Her first one is up, off front iron, no good. So Federson still kind of rubbing that nose a little bit. She took a forearm to the face, and her second shot is up and good. So it's 5-0 lead here for the Cougars as Federson hits 1 of 2. Now Rosa will bring it down, flips it out to Rangel. Rangel over to Quayle. Quayle back over to Jimenez. Jimenez back over to Quayle. Now underneath to Rosa. Rosa gets it picked away from her by Federson. Federson down to Dogan now in transition. Liz goes up for the layup. No good. Rebound into the hands of Selena Quayle. And back the other way comes Lamar as Rosa puts up a 3-pointer. No good. Comes into the hands of Havili. Now back over to Vigil. Vigil crosses the timeline. She'll flip it over to Federson. Federson with a 15-footer. It's up and no good. Rebound into the hands of Jimenez as Jimenez will get it down to Rangel. Rangel will take the long 3 off the back iron. No good. Dogan with the rebound. She'll get it back to Vigil. WNC in transition now. Ball back to Dogan. Dogan will get over the timeline. Back over to Federson. Federson underneath to Lujan. Lujan to Havili. And in for the score, Havili. As now Lamar will come back the other way. Now Rosa over to Quayle. Quayle back over to Rangel. Rangel takes another long 3-pointer, and that one's in and out no good. Havili with the rebound. She'll get it out to Ange Vigil. Ange throws it to Abby, and Abby can't save it going out of bounds. She'll go out of bounds. That'll be a turnover on the Cougars as Lujan, a little slow to get up there, but she'll make it back toward the bench. And a timeout is called by WNCC. So with 17:38 here to play in the first half, 7-0 in favor of the Cougars. I remind you our scoreboard mentions brought to you by Alex TLC, from makeup and beauty supplies to spa services, including nails, hair, and massage, and even a garden center with flowers, shrubs, and more. The Lifestyle Center has you covered, 3109 Avenue B in Scottsbluff. As I sit here, I think about eating at Bacharach's now. I think might have to slip over there after the game and get one of their many sandwiches off of the menu. Now I'm hungry, and I want to go up to the concession stand as both teams break from the huddle, and Lamar will have the basketball first. And that's going to be down to Vigil. So the first points on the board for Lamar come from their leading scorer, Vigil, as she gets the layup. And Havili now down to Dogan. Dogan back out to Ange Vigil, and Ange Vigil puts up the jumper, no good, but and Abby Lujan comes up with the ball, but Havili will be called for the travel. Turnover on the Cougars. Now 17-15 left to play as Rosa brings it down. Rosa over to Jimenez. Now Jimenez back over to Rosa. Rosa drives to the lane. She kicks it back out to Quayle. Quayle, long 3-pointer. It's in and good. So Quayle with the 3-pointer cuts the lead 7-5 now here on the Alex TLC scoreboard. But Federson feeds Havili underneath. And Havili quickly with 6 points here to lead the Cougars to a 9-5 lead. And Vigil working on Havili. She'll put it up off the glass and in. So Vigil now has 4 points for Lamar. But Cougars in transition. Ange Vigil with the jumper is in and out, no good. She gets her own rebound. She flips it back out to Dogan. Almost a foul there on Vigil, on Khadijah Vigil, as Dogan finally flips it out to Ange Vigil. Now Ange throws an errant pass down the middle, picked off by Quayle. Here comes the Lopes coming the other way. As Rosa now kicks it out to Jimenez. Jimenez with the three-pointer, no good. Rebound comes in the hands of Lujan. Back out to Vigil. Now Vigil working 3-on-3 as Feddersen now take the baseline, flip it back out to Vigil. The teardrop, no good. Vigil comes up with her own rebound, kicks it out to Dogan, though. Dogan over to Lujan. Now Lujan to Feddersen. Feddersen with the jumper. In and out, no good. Dogan almost comes up with the rebound, but Lamar will come out of it as Ariel Rosa will get a hand on it. Now she'll get it down to Vigil, guarded by Lujan. Now she'll kick it back out, picked off by Ange Vigil. And Ange Vigil is going to slow things up, let her team catch up. As she gets over Lujan now underneath the Dogan. Dogan is fouled, going up for the shot. So Dogan, that'll be a shooting foul here. That's 2 now on Lamar. As Dogan will go to the line to shoot 2. Cougars with a 9-7 lead here on the Alex TLC scoreboard as first shot by Dogan is up and good. So Dogan with 3 as wholesale substitutions come in for Lamar. Looking at Kimmy Roth and number 12, Vanessa Mestas, along with number 4, Taryn Frazier. And I can't see the other one on the other side of Dogan as Dogan's going to go for her second shot here. And it is up and good. So Dogan with 4 now as Quayle bring it out now to Rosa. Rosa working against Goche Aslan in the game for WNCC along with Hannah Sparks as Jimenez puts up the three-pointer, but air ball. Also in for the Cougars, Lindy Puckett, the three-point specialist, along with Noah Talia, as Lindy can't quite get rid of the ball, but Hannah Sparks comes over to save her. As Sparks now drives toward the middle, now she's going to get fouled. Trying to make the pass over to Puckett. And it looks like Selena Quayle. I take that back. Ariel Rosa is going to pick up her first. That's 3 team fouls on Lamar. As now Lujan over to Oslin. Oslin back over to Puckett now. Puckett no room to move. Back over to Talia. Talia back over to Puckett. Puckett drives now inside the three-point line. It's up and good. So Lindy picks up a pair. As Rosa now brings it down. She'll flip it over to Mestas now. Shot up by Kimmy Rhodes. Or Kimmy Roth, I take that back, but the Cougars come up with it now. Abby Lujan with the shot. Up, no good. Picked up by Taryn Frazier and back the other way for Lamar. Kind of got choked up there for a second as Rosa now kicks it back out. Trying to see who that was. That was number 10. That was Kelsey Grimaldo with the three-pointer. So Kelsey Grimaldo in the game for Lamar as Aslan now works against Gramola, and the pass, errant pass picked off by Lamar. Coming back the other way, Mestas. She'll kick it back out to Gramola, and now she's going to be fouled. Trying to pass it over to Rosa, and Aslan's going to pick up her first for the Cougars. And that is the first team foul by WNCC. As Lamar now will take it out from under their own basket. Jimenez will bring it in to almost picked off by Hannah Sparks as it was intended for Gramola. Now Jimenez will bring it back in. She'll bring it in to Grimaldo. Grimaldo tries to get it over to Vigil. Now Vigil's picked off. There's a fight for the ball on the floor between Vigil and Aslan, the biggest player on the floor against the smallest player on the floor. And they're going to give the ball to Lamar there, and they're going to give Goche her second foul. So the scrum for the ball results in a foul for WNCC as the shot is up by Frazier, up no good, off the iron. Picked off by Abi Lujan. Now it's picked off the other way by Lamar. That's number 12, Vanessa Mestis. She'll get it out to Vigil. Now Vigil, she flips it over to Jimenez, and Jimenez hits a three to tie the game up. 13-13 here, 13-26 left to play in the first as tough Lamar defense kicks the ball out of bounds. And it will be Lamar basketball. So WNC having all kinds of problems as Vigil and Dogan will come back in. Abi Lujan will take a seat. Looks like along with Federson. As into Frazier now. Frazier over to Vigil. Vigil with the jumper. It's up off iron, no good. But picked up by Frazier. Now on the floor is Dogan. And they're going to call the foul, I think, on Vigil from Lamar as Dogan came up with that basketball. And it will be WNCC ball. 13-12 left to play here in the first half. 13-13 all as Dogan brings it into Talia. Talia now tries to kick it back out to Vigil. Full court press by Lamar as Vigil now get it over to Puckett. Now Puckett looking over to Hannah Sparks. It goes out of bounds, but saved by Talia. And now they're going to call a foul. And they're going to call that one on, I'm not sure who they're calling that one on. They're calling on Vigil, number 55. That'll be her second as the ball comes into Dogan. Now Dogan works toward the top of the key, back out to Sparks. Now Sparks drives to the lane, back over to Dogan at the free throw line. She'll back out now. Finds Puckett over in the corner. No room for Puckett to move, though, as she kicks out to Vigil. Now Vigil back to Puckett. Puckett for three. In and out, no good. Rebound Dogan. Back out to Vigil now. As Vigil is going to find Talia underneath. The lay-in is good. So the Cougars finally find some points on a bucket from Noah Talia. As Jimenez now is picked off by Ange Vigil. Ange Vigil's all alone with Frazier. Now she'll go up for the layup. No good. But she's fouled on the way up. And Vigil will go to the line. They're going to call that one on Taryn Frazier, her first, the freshman from Colorado Springs, Coronado High School. So Cougars with a 15-13 lead here. As Ange Vigil goes to the line, the Cougars really need to get something going here. As her first free throw is up and good. So Ange with her first point of the game, as coming in now for Lamar will be number 3, Rosa comes back in. And Mestis will sit down as Vigil will hit her second. So Rosa now back down to Jimenez. Now Jimenez works top of the key, back over to Frazier. Now Frazier runs with it. No call. She didn't have control of the basketball. They keep a hold of it, though. Talia, though, is going to come up with the rebound out to Vigil. Now Vigil is going to take the short jumper up, no good. But Dogan is going to get called for the over-the-back foul underneath. Going for the rebound there. Liz got a little too much of Frazier. So Dogan will pick up her first. And that's the third team foul on the Cougars. As coming back into the game now will be Selena Quayle. And she'll bring in the ball for Lamar. She'll bring it into Rosa. Rosa across the timeline working against Sparks now. Pass up to Vigil in the lane. And she's gonna get called for the charge as she laid into Noah Talia. Talia hit the floor. Now Vigil's going to pick up her third. And that's huge for the Cougars. She had 41 points last night against Miles. And you got to think that Tom Sutherland is going to set her down here for a while with 11:51 left to play in the first half. Timeout called. 17-13 in favor of the Cougars. But as I was saying, Khadijah Vigil picks up her third foul on a charge underneath on Noah Talia. And the Cougars I think doing exactly what they want to do in this game is get her out of position. I want to remind you of our scoreboard mentions brought to you by Alex TLC in tonight's game. And coming up at halftime, the NTC halftime report, proud to serve local youth and high school and college activities over the last 40 years. Now looking for experienced drivers to join our team. Join the NTC family today by visiting www.nebt.com. As the huddles now break, and it will be Cougar basketball underneath. Dogan will bring it out under their own basket. Full court presses on over to Havili. Now Havili finds Dogan. Dogan's going to bring it up the floor back to Havili. Now Havili looking for somewhere to go, and the pass picked off by Jimenez. Pass intended for Hannah Sparks, picked off by Jimenez. Now Jimenez over to Kimmy Roth. Kimmy Roth shots up no good. Rebound Dogan. Dogan out to Vigil. Now Vigil get across the timeline now out to Puckett. Puckett with the big left hand, no good. Fight ensues underneath. They're going to give it back to Lamar as there was a lot of hands in on that ball, but they're going to call Lamar basketball here with 11:22 left to play in the first. Lamar gets it over quick to Jimenez. Jimenez back to Rosa. Rosa out to Quayle. Long three-pointer by Quayle. Off the mark, no good. It'll go out of bounds. Cougar basketball. So WNCC in a battle here early against Lamar. And if they want to play tomorrow night at 7, they're going to have to get through this one. But that press by Lamar is wearing these Cougars out. Hannah Sparks will get it over the timeline, though. Back over to, she looked for Veal. Now back over to Puckett. Puckett for the short-range jumper. No good, but Havili there with the putback. So Havili, who's been in quite a drought since she scored those quick 6, now has her 8th points, and Quayle with a big three-pointer, and it's off the backboard and good. I have no clue how she got that there. As now on the other side of the floor, Dogan will lose it. It'll go back into the hands of Jimenez. Jimenez will get it over to Rosa. Rosa driving the lane now, kicks it back out to Rongel, and she hits the 3. So Rongel with the three-pointer ties it up at 19. As Puckett now taking underneath now, and she'll be fouled by Roth. And Mindy going up for the jump shot. She just gets clobbered by Kimmy Roth. And that should be the first on Roth, and it is, as Puckett will go to the line, try and break this 19-19 tie, and the first one is up and good. So Puckett now has 3 in the game. 20-19 favor of the Cougars here. 10-13 left to play here in the first half, and the second shot is up and good. So Puckett has 4 for the Cougars. And now the full court press by Callie Feddersen. But Rosa will get it across the timeline. Now back out to Jimenez. Jimenez works against Vigil. Now Vigil back, or Jimenez back over to Rosa. Shot up by Jimenez. Off the mark, no good. Into the hands of Ange Vigil. Now Vigil get it over to Abby Lujan. Abby Lujan over to Dogan. Dogan back over to Feddersen. Feddersen back out to Vigil. Vigil with the jumper, and it's good. So Ange Vigil extends the lead for the Cougars to 23-19 here. Roth now working inside against Havili. Havili with the block, but they're going to call her for the foul. So Roth will go to the line for 2. And that'll be the first foul on Lily Havili. The crowd showing displeasure along with head coach Dave Harnish, as he is not happy with the female referee over there who made the call, as Roth's first shot is up and no good. So no harm, no foul here as Roth misses her first. 9:37 left to play here on in the first half. 23-19 Cougars. Second shot is up and in and out, no good. Havili with the rebound. Now back out to Vigil. So a pair of misses by Roth. Gives the ball back to the Cougars. Now down to Dogan. Dogan working against Quayle. Now Dogan works toward the middle, back out to Vigil. Vigil up to the free throw line, out to Lujan. Now Lujan back to Vigil. Vigil takes a shot, up and good. So Vigil with 6 here in this game. 25-19 Cougars as Quayle way outside, and that pass is tipped out by Callie Feddersen, and it'll remain Lamar basketball as Feddersen on her toes over on that left side. So bringing it in will be Grimaldo, and she's trying to find Rosa. She finds Rosa in the backcourt. Rosa now kicks it out to Jimenez. Jimenez works back toward the middle. Now underneath to Frazier. Frazier blocked by Havili, and Havili will come up with the ball, but she'll step out of bounds. So Havili, with a great block, great defense there, comes up with the basketball. And now there's going to be some talk at the scorer's table as the official goes to the scorer's table. And the shot clocks have now been reset to 19. They were sitting at 30 as Lamar brings it in. Now out to Jimenez. Jimenez now looking for Frazier underneath. But she'll kick it back out to Grimaldo. Grimaldo out to Rosa. Rosa back to Grimaldo. Grimaldo over to Jimenez. Jimenez looking for an open shot. Takes the three, and it's good. So Jimenez now with 6 points, both on three-pointers. 25-22 Cougars. And Lamar still with the press. As Veal gets it over the timeline now and throws it away. Comes up in the hands of Grimaldo. Grimaldo back the other way. Back over to Frazier now. Frazier kicks it out to Rosa. Rosa with the three, up and no good. Rebound comes down in the hands of Lujan, and she'll be fouled by Taryn Frazier. And Frazier will pick up her second. And that is 9 team fouls on Lamar, so that'll send Lujan to the line for the 1-and-1. And Lujan already has 5 rebounds in this game. And a shout out to my stat man next to me here, Steve Hall, as Lujan puts it up, the first shot, and it's good. So first half of the 1-and-1 taken care of as Lujan will go to the line for her second, and it is up and good. So Lujan picks up her first points at the free throw line. Rosa brings it back the other way. Rosa now working on Feddersen. She's going to take it all the way by herself. Up, no good, off the glass. Picked up by Dogan. Now Dogan back the other way. Back over to Feddersen to that left side. Feddersen will slow it up now, kick it back out. Gets it to Lujan underneath. Now Dogan, shot no good. Almost gets her own rebound. Picked up by Quayle. Now Lamar's coming back the other way. Jimenez over to Rosa. Rosa for three and up, no good. That was Jimenez actually for the three-pointer. Chased down by Dogan. Dogan will get it over to Feddersen in the corner as Feddersen gets it over the timeline. Now timeout is called. I don't know what quite was called right there, as now the Cougars will be bringing it out from by the scorer's table. The whistle blew. Play was stopped. Now the Cougars will bring it out. And Dogan out to Dogan, now over to Feddersen. Feddersen on the left side now looks for Dogan. Picked off by Rosa, but Rosa will go out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars. Good defensive play there by Lamar as Rosa chased that one down, but it will stay with WNCC. And this is not the biggest team on the court, but they are awfully fast, is this team. As now Aslan in the game for the Cougars. She'll drive toward the lane. Now kicks it out to Lujan. Lujan up and good. So the jumper by Lujan extends the lead 29-22 in favor of the Cougars. As Rosa now brings it back out to Jimenez. Jimenez works from the top against Aslan. Back out to Rosa. Back to Jimenez. Now underneath the Frazier. Frazier turn jumper in and out. No good. Rebound Lujan. She'll get it out to Feddersen. Feddersen driving down the lane on the fast break. Now back out to Aslan. Now Aslan will back up and set it up. Now she'll take it into the lane. Now out to Feddersen. Feddersen back to the middle of the court. Aslan all alone for three. It's up and off the mark. No good. But Dogan is there for the rebound. And jump ball is called as Dogan. And it looked like Jimenez or Quayle underneath there with their hands on the ball. Possession arrow goes in the way of Lamar. So Lamar will take possession of the ball. 6:40 left to play. Here, Rosa brings it up. Kicks it out to Jimenez. Now Jimenez over to Frazier. Frazier with the jumper. No good. Lujan with another rebound, and she'll get it out to Oslin. Oslin over the timeline now, working on that left side. Pass over to Lujan. Now Lujan finds Dogan underneath. Back out to Federson. Federson in and out, no good. But Havili with the rebound gets it to Federson to fight for the ball on the outside, and they're going to give it to Lamar as Federson and Rosa were both going for the ball right on the out-of-bounds line. And they're going to give it back to Lamar, saying it went out on Federson. So Lamar basketball as Jimenez brings it across the timeline now. Over to Frazier. Now Frazier tries to find V-Hill underneath. Her shot's up and no good. She puts Havili on the floor, but no call as Dogan comes back the other way. Now back out to Oslin. Oslin over to Lujan. Now Lujan back over to Dogan. Dogan with the left-handed jumper. In and out, no good. Rebound Frazier. But they're going to call a foul on Abby Lujan as she knocked the ball out of Frazier's hands. And it looked like all ball to me, but they're going to get Lujan for the foul. That'll be her first. Lamar basketball. And a 30-second timeout taken by Tom Sutherland and Lamar as the Cougars hold on to a 29-22 lead here. 5:47 left to play here in the first half. We'll take a 30-second timeout and come back to action here with more Cougar basketball on Z1013.
Everyone you meet is a potential customer. If you're wearing your company's logo on your shirt, jacket, or hat, you're promoting your company. And since it's that simple, get your employees to advertise for you too by wearing your company's product. It just makes good business sense. In Stitches and Ad Specialties can put your brand on anything. Keep your name in front of those customers and give your company a professional edge with products from Ad Specialties. Downtown Scottsbluff on 17th Street. In Stitches and Ad Specialties. Fast, fair, friendly.
BSN is the Bluff Sports Network.
And welcome back to Cougar Palace. Dave Bruns in the Logos broadcast booth as Khadijah Havili puts points on the board for Lamar. Picks up her sixth out of the timeout. Now the fast break by the Cougars, though, as Federson will kick it over to Talia. Talia will take the shot. Up, no good. And rebound Lujan back out to Federson now. And back into Oslin. And she'll kick it out to Dogan, slowing things up as back to Oslin. The two Turks out there for the Cougars. As over to Lujan, now back down to Dogan. Now Federson will drive the baseline. She'll kick it back out to Oslin. Oslin back over to Dogan. Now Federson, 9 seconds left on the shot clock as Lujan puts up the shot, and it's good. Lujan with 6 to extend the lead 31-24 in favor of the Cougars. But Lamar quickly back the other way as Rosa now. She'll kick it out to Vanessa Mestis in the game now for Lamar. Over to Frazier. Now Frazier back under to V-Hill, but she loses the basketball. Coming up with Callie Federson. Back over to Oslin. Now back the other way is the Cougars. As Oslin now gets her pocket pick, but picked up by Talia. Back out to Federson. And back over to Lujan up top court. And here comes Oslin with the teardrop off the glass and good. So Goche Oslin picks up her first points here with 4:10 left to play in the first half. 33-24 in favor of the Cougars. As Lujan now will get called for the foul underneath on V-Hill. V-Hill going up for the shot. Lujan wants all ball, but they're not going to give it to her. That'll be 2 on Abby. And Khadijah V-Hill will go to the line to shoot 2 as it was committed on the shot. First shot is up and good. So 7 points now for V-Hill. She's got quite the road to travel to get back to that 41 with 3 fouls here. As V-Hill puts up her second shot and is up and off the back iron and in. So V-Hill converts on both of her shots. That's 16 fouls now on the Cougars. As Lindy Puckett now back in for the Cougars. Now out to Talia. Talia back over to Federson now over the timeline. As Oslin now working on V-Hill. As Oslin takes it to the middle. Now underneath to Talia. Talia up off the glass and good. So Noah Talia having a great game here for the Cougars. As Lamar working quickly the other way out to Quayle. Quayle for the three-pointer off, no good. But Oslin goes for the ball. They're going to call it out on Goche. And Crowd not wanting it. Crowd thinking that was out on Grimaldo. As Jimenez now will bring it in underneath to Quayle. Quayle's shot is up and off the glass, no good. But her second effort, she gets one to go down. So 35-28 Cougars here as in transition, gets it out to Puckett. Now Aslan works the top of the key, now working against V-Hill. Back out to Feddersen now. Feddersen back over to Oslin. Oslin now makes a move, goes to the middle, kicks it back out to Puckett. Puckett off front iron, no good. Picked up by V-Hill. And back the other way goes Lamar as Grimaldo works on that right side now. She'll kick it over to Quayle. Now Quayle back out to Jimenez. And underneath to Grimaldo, back out to V-Hill. Now V-Hill drives on Talia, and they're going to call a block on Noah Talia. And that is probably the craziest call I've seen so far in this game, as V-Hill lowered her shoulder and just ran Noah Talia over. And those who know Noah is not a small, not a short girl. And Dave Harnish over there explaining to the referee what he saw, as V-Hill now will go to the line. And first shot is up and good on the 1-and-1. So V-Hill now with 9. 35-29 Cougars here. 2:53 left to play here in the first half, as V-Hill's second shot is up and in to make it 35-30. So V-Hill, even with the 3 fouls now, 10 points in this game. And I guarantee you, Dave Harnish is letting that referee know that they got to keep an eye on V-Hill, because she lowers her shoulder when she goes up, and she is a load to try and take down. And it looks like a timeout's going to be called by Dave Harnish and the Cougars. 35-30 lead here. As get ready for our NTC halftime report coming up in 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And I also want to remind you to go down to Logos. The Logos broadcast booth is where we're broadcasting from today. I talked to Jeremy Dollarhide Tuesday. He was bringing in some shirts for the tournament. And Logos, from screen printing to embroidery, Logos has you covered. Shop the showroom and get something custom made at Logos, 1344 10th Street in Gearing. As Lamar has now come out of the break. Cougars are still talking things over there, and they're letting them know that they need to get things going. And going back to that foul on Talia, that's her first in the game. If you remember, she drew the foul on V-Hill earlier on the charge, but couldn't pick that one up, as it will be Cougar basketball. Underneath will be Liz Dogan taking things out, and a press put on by Lamar out to Talia. Now Talia back over to Oslin. Oslin back over to Talia over the timeline. Now Talia loses the basketball. She's going to get called for double dribble. And that was just a nasty. And she was kind of being mugged going through there, but they're going to call her for the double dribble. Coming back the other way now is Lamar, as Jimenez will give it over to Quayle. Now Quayle with the spin move, up and good. So Quayle with quick points there to give her 10 on the night. And Feddersen now with the basketball for the Cougars. Cougars back over to Aslan. Aslan now working on V-Hill. Back over to Feddersen on that right side. Feddersen back out to Aslan in the middle. Aslan drives toward the middle, gives it to Dogan. Dogan now passes out to Talia. Talia to Puckett. Puckett for... They're not going to give her 3 on that. That's a long 2 for Lindy Puckett, but she nails it. So Lindy with 6 here in this game, and that ball is going to be poked away by Noah Talia, and they're going to call her for the foul. And if you ask me, that was a little ticky-tack, as Noah Talia is going to pick up her second foul, and it is also on V-Hill. So it's like Talia will come out of the game. Now V-Hill will come back in, or Havili will come back in for the Cougars. Khadijah V-Hill at the line now for the 1-and-1, and the first shot's up, no good. Rebound Dogan out to Ange V-Hill, who's back in the game for the Cougars. And back over to Dogan now. Dogan looking almost traveled with it, but was able to get rid of it. Back over to V-Hill. Now V-Hill working from the top of the key. Over to Feddersen on the left side. Over to Puckett now, wide open for the jumper, and misses it. In and out, no good. Rebound comes in the hands of Vigil. Now back the other way, Jimenez. Jimenez passes it over to Rosa. Now Rosa working on, gives it to Vigil underneath, but her shot is off the mark, no good. Puckett with the rebound. Now back over to Vigil, back the other way by the Cougars. And Feddersen now going to drive the lane herself and is up and no good, but a foul will be called on Gabriela Jimenez. She didn't like the call, but Callie going up for the layup was hogtied as her first shot is up and good. So Feddersen now with 2 points in the game. Wholesale substitutions by Lamar. Coming in now is Rosa Roth. And I'm trying to see the other one as Feddersen's next shot is up and good. So Feddersen with 3. And the other player that came in, number 14, that's Kirby Vanderpool. It's her first action tonight as she throws it over to Quayle. Now Quayle over to Rosa. Rosa drives toward the middle. Now back over to Vanderpool. Back out to Rosa for 3. In and out, no good. Rebounds Havili. So here comes the press again as Vigil gets it over to Dogan. Now Dogan looking, finds Havili across the timeline. 52 seconds left here to play in the first half. 39-32 Cougars as now Puckett gives it back out to Havili. Havili over to Vigil. Now Vigil in the lane, back out to Dogan. Dogan with the teardrop. And they're going to call a charge on Yelise Dogan, who went up for the hook shot. And Dogan will pick up her second, and that'll give the ball back to Lamar with 40 seconds left to play here in the first half. As Rosa now kicks out to Quayle, and Quayle with the long three-pointer off no good into the hands of Feddersen. Back the other way. Feddersen over to Vigil. Now Vigil's going to slow things up and back it out, working for that last shot. Now she finds the zone on the right side. Back out to Puckett on that left side, up and good. So Puckett, another two-pointer, and she's got 8 as now Rosa back the other way. 10 seconds left to play here. Lamar looking for a shot. Now stolen by Vigil. Vigil's back the other way. 5, 4, 3, 2. And just with 2 seconds left, Ange Vigil puts it up to make it 43-32. That is the end of the first half. Cougars lead it 43-32. We'll come back after a 3-minute timeout here with more Cougar basketball on Z1013.
Waste Connections of Nebraska Incorporated provides the following services: residential, commercial, roll-off, and rural collection services. With the transfer station open to the public Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., main office business hours are Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30 p.m., closed on Saturdays and Sundays. Waste Connections of Nebraska for all your waste needs, located at 710 Country Club Road in Gearing, or give them a call at 308-632-6060. Are you looking for a place with a great family atmosphere or a place you can just watch the big game? Well, head on over to Bacharach's at 1402 East 20th Street in Scottsbluff. With great lunch specials and great appetizers, including wings and steak nachos, you can't go wrong at Bacharach's. Try their new salad bar for $5.99 for one trip or $7.99 all you can eat. College and high school students, show your student ID and receive 15% off. Only at Bacharach's, 1402 East 20th Street in Scottsbluff, a proud supporter of high school and college athletics.
Pop quiz. If Jimmy has a tuna sandwich, Susie has last night's leftovers, and you have a hot, delicious Spicy Jack burger from Runza, who's having an awesome day? You are, because our Spicy Jack is loaded with pepper jack, jalapenos, bacon, and jalapeno ranch. And if you want your day to get even more awesome, try the Spicy Jack Runza sandwich or chicken sandwich too. Spicy Jack's got so much flavor, we couldn't contain it to a burger. Runza, the difference is real.
Wintertime is right around the corner, and that means it's time to get your car ready. Get your car winterized now so you can be prepared for bad weather. High-Tech Auto services all domestic cars and trucks, tune-ups, engine repair, air conditioning services, electrical repair, brakes, shocks, exhaust, and so much more. High-Tech Auto can pinpoint any problem you might have with their diagnostic machine. Don't forget they also do oil changes, so give Terry a call at 632-2731. That's 632-2731. Or stop by on Highland Road next door to Heilbrun's. High-Tech Auto, getting your car ready for the colder weather.
What sets Century Lumber apart? Well, that's easy. At Century Lumber Center, they're committed to providing their customers with quality products and outstanding service at competitive pricing that you've grown to expect. With a sales staff with over 80 years of experience, they're there to assist you with all of your projects from start to finish. Stop in today and let them help you with all of your hardware and construction needs. Let Century Lumber earn your business today. Century Lumber Center, 1725 East Overland in Scottsbluff.
Your employees have been working so hard this year, and you want to do something to show your appreciation. Let our team help your team. Scottsbluff Screen Printing has the answer. Company jackets, polos, coffee mugs, phone covers, you name it. We can make it. Let Scottsbluff Screen Printing help you come up with that special gift that says, "We appreciate you." From banners to business cards, corporate apparel, and gifts, we are here to help. Come work with the professionals. Scottsbluff Screen Printing, downtown Scottsbluff.
The first half is in the books. It's time for the Nebraska Transport Company Halftime Report. Visit NTC online, nebt.com. This is the Nebraska Transport Company Halftime Report on the Bluff Sports Network.
Pals, we are at halftime here as the Cougars enjoy a 43-32 lead over Lamar here in the second round of the Region 9 tournament. Welcome into the Logos broadcast booth. I am Dave Bruns along with Tiffany Hopkins back at our 2002 Shar Avenue studios. And like I said, this is the NTC halftime report. Proud to support local youth, high school, and college activities over the last 40 years. Now looking for experienced drivers to join our team. Join the NTC family today by visiting www.nebt.com. Well, the Cougars finished off that first half on an 8-0 run, capped off by a steal and a layup by Ange Vigil to give the Cougars their lead. Let's jump into some scoring here. We'll start things off with Lamar as Miroslava Rangel, as the first half has 3 points and 1 rebound, followed by running down, Kelsey Grimaldo also has a three-pointer in the first half, followed by Gabrielle Jimenez with 2 3-pointers for 6 points. And then Selena Quayle with 10 points and Khadijah Vigil with 10 points to lead the way for Lamar here in the first half. Looking at first half totals from the field, 11 of 38 shooting for Lamar for 28.9%. That's got to make Cougar fans happy. But they were also 6 of 19 from three-point land for 31.6% and 4 for 7 from the free throw line. Going down for rebounds, looks like leading the way rebound-wise is Taryn Frazier with 3, along with Selena Quill with 3 as well. But only 13 total rebounds for Lamar there in the first half. Jumping over to the Lady Cougars side of things, they had 8 players in the scoring column as we run down. Yelise Dogan with 4 points, followed by Goche Oslin with 2, Lindy Puckett with 8, Abby Lujan with 6, Ange Vigil with 8, Callie Federson with 3, Noah Talia with 4, and Lily Havili with 8. Lily also has 7 rebounds, followed by Dogan actually leading the way with 10 rebounds. So if she can get some points on the board, she'll finish out with a double-double in tonight's game. The Cougars absolutely crushing Lamar on the boards tonight, 34-13. 23 of those coming from the defensive side of things. Also looking at total field goal percentage for the Cougars, 16-34 for 47%, and 0 for 2 from three-point land. So that's one thing that is kind of not going the Cougars' way here. They haven't been able to hit the three-pointer, but they're making sure things are happening underneath. At the free throw line, the Cougars are 11 of 12 for 91.7%. Going down the list, free throw points, Cougars outscoring Lamar 11-4. Points off turnovers, though, Lamar with 16 to the Cougars 10. And we already talked about the rebounds, 34-13 in favor of WNCC. Jumping over to three-point, 18-0 in favor of Lamar. That is a big number that Dave Harnish is going to want to make sure gets taken care of in the second half. Second chance points goes WNCC's way, 6-2. And the other one that really jumps out at me here, points off the bench, 14 for the Cougars. As we know, Lindy Puckett came from the bench to score her 8 points, and along with Goche Ausland with her 2. And going back down the road, Noah Talia with 4 off the bench. Looking over at Mark Ryan, the guru Mark Ryan just handed me a score. The Cougar men are down 50-32 to Northwest Wyoming at the half right now. That game can be heard over on 93.3 KMOR. As I was told earlier, Ben Blecka from Sterling is calling that game for us. So 93.3 KMOR, you can pick up the Cougar men. Picked up a win last Saturday against Lamar to keep things alive and head over to take on the number 1 team in Region 9, the Northwest Trappers, but they are now finding themselves down 50-32. We'll take another 2-minute timeout and come back with more of the NTC halftime report here. This is Cougar basketball on Z1013.
Wesco is offering our fertilizer program from now until January 10th. Our Wesco prepay program lets producers lock in their fertilizer and crop protection products. This helps control your input cost, which also assists in your marketing decisions. The fertilizer prepay program is just one more way we can help you make the most of your operating dollars. Call your agronomist at Wesco today to lock in your agronomy needs for 2015. Wesco, service, solutions, success.
Wesco's your best value through and through.
Logos on 10th Street in Gearing. Nebraska Transport Company is proud to be able to support our local youth activities for over 40 years. NTC is a name that you know and can trust for all of your shipping needs, from LTL truckload, guarantee and expedited, to full-service logistics solutions, and now our newest division, pneumatic and bulk. If you're looking for a company where you're more than just a driver, we currently have various opportunities for you to join our team. NTC, a company that cares.
At Platte Valley Bank, we work with generations of families. Those families stay with us, not because that's the way it's always been, but because they know we genuinely care about our customers. Our willingness to find a solution with local decisions means your best interest is always our top priority. That is what community banking is all about. Local people in our community working for your success. Community banking for you. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
BSN is the Bluff Sports Network.
And welcome back to Cougar Palace as the Cougars enjoy a 43-32 lead here in the second round of the Region 9 tournament over Lamar. As we get ready for second round action here, we'll go back kind of into the bracket here and take a look at things on the Cougar side of the bracket. WNCC, if they win tonight, they will come back here to Cougar Palace again tomorrow night to take on Central Wyoming, who's been on a tear, winning by 20 over Trinidad and picking up a 75-54 win over Otero earlier tonight. And like I said, on 93.3 KMOR, the men are playing against Northwest Wyoming right now, down 50-32 at half. At this time, I'd like to take a little bit of time to thank some of our Bluff Sports Network sponsors, and those would be Runza, Wesco, Logos, NTC, PVC, Platte Valley Companies, Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Waste Connections, First State Bank, Shank Roofing, Scottsbluff Screen Printing, Advertising Specialties, WNCC, Bacharachs, High Tech Auto, and Century Lumber. So thank you to all of those. If it wasn't for those sponsors, we wouldn't be able to bring you Cougar Athletics this year. And what a year it has been. 28-2 are the Cougars, only losing to Casper and Northeastern Junior College. As we heard earlier, Casper fell in that second round. They were upset by Northwest College, the number 5 seed out of the North. So Casper, the 1 seed out of the North, falling to Northwest College. Now Northwest College will take on NJC tomorrow at 5 p.m. The Cougars, if they win tonight, will play again at 7. I want to remind you, this is the NTC halftime report here for the Cougar basketball game. Proud to support local and youth, high school, and college activities over the last 40 years. Now looking for experienced drivers to join our team. Join the NTC family today by visiting www.nebt.com. I also like to tell you about the Cougar Bookstore. They've been very gracious here. They've been open during all the games here at Cougar Palace. They're running a lot of great sales in there. I was in there Tuesday looking at some of the merchandise in there. They've got up to 30, 40, and 50% off of stuff, sweatshirts, different Cougar basketball stuff. So if you want to outfit yourself to keep following this Cougar team, head into the Cougar Bookstore. They are open and ready for business. So the Cougars now back out on the floor, getting ready for second half action here. A little over 2 minutes left before they start the second half. We are still yet to see any action from Brooke Zimmerman, who has been big down the stretch here for the Cougars. She's going to be kind of the cog for this team next year, along with Noah Talia, to kind of take over underneath there for Dogan and Havili. But we have not seen any Brooke Zimmerman yet tonight. We'll see if that happens in the second half, but I can imagine Dave Harnish is going to come out with his starters here in the second half. We're going to take another 2-minute timeout and wrap up the NTC halftime report. It's 43-32 Cougars here in the second round of the Region 9 tournament. We'll be back after 2 minutes here. More Cougar basketball on the Bluff Sports Network.
At Scottsbluff Body and Paint, we handle anything from towing, minor dents, and major collision damage with ease. Our investment in state-of-the-art equipment is backed by skilled technicians, trained in the latest repair techniques, and with years of experience. Best of all, we are insurance-friendly and recognized as a direct repair facility for many of the national insurance companies. Scottsbluff Body and Paint, the #1 rated body and paint shop in the Valley, located at 1502 Circle Drive, Scottsbluff.
Saving money is much easier when you do it automatically. All you have to do is tell us how much you want to save, and we'll automatically deduct it from your checking account and put it in your savings account. Out of sight, out of mind. It's the easy way to save. Get started with automatic savings today. First State Bank, member FDIC. We're big on you.
We're big on you.
Shank Roofing is here even after the disaster has been cleaned up. Family owned and operated, Shank Roofing stands behind all of their projects. New roof or just a leak, Shank Roofing guarantees. You have our name on it. Call for an appointment today, 632-6156. That's 632-6156.
What sets Century Lumber apart? Well, that's easy. At Century Lumber Center, they're committed to providing their customers with quality products and outstanding service at competitive pricing that you've grown to expect. With a sales staff with over 80 years of experience, they're there to assist you with all of your projects from start to finish. Stop in today and let them help you with all of your hardware and construction needs. Let Century Lumber earn your business today. Century Lumber Center, 1725 East Overland in Scotts Bluff.
BSN is the Bluff Sports Network.
Back to Cougar basketball here as we got started here in the second half a little bit earlier than I expected. And the Cougars started with the ball. Lamar ended up with the basketball after a missed shot from Dogan, and it is back in the hands of Lamar after a turnover by Callie Feddersen. So 19:26 left to play. Lamar with the basketball. V-Hill drives on Havili. Shot up, no good. Rebound, Havili. As now V-Hill will be cornered, but she gets it out to Dogan, able to get it out to Feddersen and break the press. Feddersen will slow it back up, get it back out to V-Hill. And over to Lujan. Now Lujan looking for somebody in the middle, back out to V-Hill. Now V-Hill find Dogan in the middle, and she can't get away from anybody. They're going to call an offensive foul on Liz Dogan for a push-off. All right, take that back. They're going to call 3 seconds. I wasn't sure who they called it on. But a three-pointer now by Quayle is up and no good. Back into the hands of Abby Lujan. Now she'll get it out to Veal. Veal get it back out to Feddersen. Feddersen over to Veely. Veely, the jumper from the free throw line, up, in and out, no good. But a scrum for the ball. And they're going to say that was out on WNCC. there was two Lamar players there. Callie Feddersen, they're going to say it was out on Callie. This crowd is going to let these officials have it for that one, as it is now Lamar basketball. Back over to Rosa now. Rosa working against Feddersen. Now they're going to call Feddersen with a block. And it was right in front of us. Rosa clearly throwing the elbows up there, but they're going to call a block on Callie Feddersen. So Feddersen picks up her first. And an errant pass by Rosa goes out of bounds. It'll turn it back over to the Cougars. And this crowd getting fired up for their Cougar women as they are leading 43-32 here in the start of the second half. Ball inbounded to Feddersen now over to Lujan over the line now, back under to Dogan. Now Dogan drives back out. Back over to Lujan. Now Lujan's going to drive up the middle, back out to Vigil. Vigil jumper up and good. So Ange Vigil now with 10 points. As coming back the other way is Rosa. Now Rosa will look to that left side now underneath to Vigil. Vigil with the shot up and good. And a foul will be called on Abby Lujan. That'll be her third, as Lujan tried to get in front of the freight train there as Vigil went up for the shots. So Vigil now with 12 points. She'll try and add to that with an old-fashioned three-point play, as she will go to the line now to shoot one. And the shot is up and off, no good. Dogan with the rebound now. Dogan back out to Vigil. Vigil back out to Havili. Havili gets it over to Feddersen now. Feddersen down the court to Lujan. Lujan with the jumper up off the glass, no good. Rebound Dogan back out to Vigil. Vigil with the shot up, no good. But Lujan able to get a hand on that, kick it back out to the top of the key. And back over to Vigil now. Vigil gets it stripped away. And they're going to call over the back on Feddersen, but it was clearly touched by Rosa. And this game getting out of hand by the Stripes here, as they were fighting for the ball. And Rosa and Feddersen both went for the ball and both touched it at the half-court line, but they're going to give it back to Lamar on the turnover now, out to Quayle. Quayle back over to Rosa. Rosa now drives that right side, kicks it back out to Gramola. And Gramola kicks it back out to Rosa. Now Rosa drives back over to Gramola. Gramola tries to go in underneath against Havili, and they're going to call Lely for the foul. So Grimaldo will go to the line, and that'll be two now on. They're going to call that on Callie Feddersen. I take that back, and her first free throw is up and good. So Grimaldo with 4 points here. And Grimaldo's second shot is up and good. That'll cut the lead, 45-36, favor of the Cougars. Now Sparks with the ball over the timeline, working against Rosa. Now Sparks goes around her, puts up the shot off the glass and good. So Hannah Sparks answers the pair of free throws by Lamar, comes back down with a bucket of her own. And now Havili will work against, or Vigil works against Havili. The shot in and out, no good. Havili with the rebound. Back out to Feddersen. Now Feddersen down that right side. And Feddersen's going to take it all the way over to Dogan. Dogan with the lay-in. And Dogan finishes it off. 49-36 Cougars here. 16:40 to play left here in our second half. As Grimaldo now working against Dogan. Tries that right side, brings it back out to the three-point line. Now Vigil working up against Havili, and she'll put the shot up and good. So Vigil with 14 now for Lamar, as now Sparks get it over on that right side. She'll hold things up, let her team catch up. Back out to Ange Vigil, underneath to Dogan. Now Dogan back out to Feddersen. Feddersen with the jumper just inside the line, good. So Feddersen extends that Cougar lead to 51-38. Full timeout will be taken by Lamar. We'll take it with them. 30-second timeout here. More Cougar basketball coming back on Z 101.3.
Where can you start a career that puts you in demand? At Western Nebraska Community College, you can choose from programs designed to launch your career or give it a complete makeover. Class sizes are small, so you get more personal attention with your instructors. Flexible class schedules and online programs make it convenient. Western Nebraska Community College. Start here, get there. Nebraska, Colorado, South Dakota, and Wyoming residents all enjoy our low in-state tuition. Summer classes begin June 2nd. Fall classes begin August 18th.
BSN, East of Bluff Sports Network.
And welcome back to Cougar Palace here. The Cougars enjoying a 51-38 lead. Lamar with the basketball now. Rosa will bring it over this half-court line. Now back out to Frazier. Frazier gets her pocket picked by Sparks. Over to Dogan now. It's 2-on-2 here. Dogan and Sparks. Pass back out to Sparks. Almost got away from her. Out to Federson now. Veal will drive the lane up. And no good, but a foul will be called underneath as Ange Vigil was going for the jumper. And we'll see if they're going to call that one. They're going to call that one on number 4. That's Taryn Frazier. That's her third. So Ange Vigil will go to the line here with 15:50 left to play in the second half. And her first shot is up and no good. So Ange Vigil trying to add to this lead. As Vigil puts her second one up, and it is good. So Vigil will extend the lead for the Cougars. 52-38 though, but Lamar working quickly back the other way here. Shot up and no good, but kicks back out to, that was Jimenez that tried the three-point shot. And it was an air ball, but it hits Liz Dogan and goes out of bounds. So new life for Lamar as Rosa will bring it in to, it looks like number 12. That is Vanessa Mestis now in for Lamar, and a foul called underneath on the Cougars. And that'll be the first on Hannah Sparks. I wasn't quite sure what she was called for. It was away from the ball. So Lamar will take it out from underneath the basket into Frazier. Now down to Vigil. Vigil works on Havili and off the glass and good. So Vigil with 16 points now here for Lamar. It's been quite a bit of their offense as now Sparks down the left side. Almost gets taken out by Mestis, but back out to Vigil. Now Vigil working on Vigil. As now Dogan kicks it back out to Federson. Federson from the right side, up and no good. Rebound, though, comes to the arms of Dogan. Back out to Ange Vigil. Ange with the teardrop shot, no good. Havili with the putback, and Havili gets her own rebound, and Havili finishes it. So Lily Havili gets a couple of boards on that and the points to extend the lead 14 points here, 54-40 for the Cougars. As now Havili will come out. Noah Talia will come back in. Coming in for Lamar now is Quayle, along with Rosa. So Rosa will bring the ball down. She'll kick it out to Mestis. Now Mestis back to Rosa. Rosa over to Jimenez. Jimenez now long pass, almost tipped out of bounds by Dogan. Rosa trying to find Mestis over there on that right side, but Dogan was there to kick it out of bounds now. Quayle bring it in to Rosa, back to Quayle now. Quayle underneath to Mestis. Mestis trying to find something on the baseline, nothing doing. And she'll kick it back out to Jimenez. She'll take it back out to the top of the key now. Back over to Quayle. Quayle back out to Mestis, and she'll try and save it, and Dogan will come up with the steal. So the Cougars back the other way as Federson will kick it out to Vigil. Now Vigil drives the lane, and up, no good, but Dogan there for the putback. So Liz Dogan with the putback, and the Cougars are killing Lamar here on the boards. Now they're going to call a delay of game on the Cougars. And Rosa now will bring it down the court. She'll bring it into number 1. That's Rangel. Rangel out to Quayle. Quayle with the long three-pointer. No good, but Vigil with the rebound. Now they'll finally kick it back out to Rangel. Rangel over to Quayle, but tipped out of bounds on the pass by Ange Vigil. Pass was intended for Mestis. And Vigil right there in the passing lane to make sure that didn't get to her. As the ball is brought in now, baseline. They're going to call a foul on Callie Federson there as Mestis was trying to go along that baseline. Callie just got just enough of a hip in there to take her to the floor. And Callie Feddersen will pick up her third foul. So the Cougars need to tread lightly here. They've got a few players with 3 fouls. As now Quayle will take the inbounds pass. Now back out to Vigil. Now Vigil underneath to Rosa. Rosa with the putback. And Rosa gets her first points of the game now. 56-42 Cougars. And they're going to call a timeout. Looks like Lamar is going to call the timeout. And we'll keep it right here. And we'll go back to this bracket. As we said earlier, Central Wyoming knocking off Trinidad and Otero to find themselves in the semifinals. And one team will join the winner of NJC and Northwest College. That game will be played at 5 p.m. tomorrow. So the Cougars have success against all of these teams, picking up a 10-point win against NJC here just a couple of weeks ago. And like I said earlier in the game, picked up a couple of wins against Lamar. Pretty big wins, too. But coming into this tournament, everybody starts 0-0. And they don't want to go home because that's what it is, win or go home here as inbounds to Vigil. Now Vigil up the floor to Talia. Talia will get it back to Vigil, back over to Sparks now. Sparks works that left side. She's going to drive the lane, flips it into Dogan, and the putback is up and good. And they're going to call a charge on Hannah Sparks. And the displeasure of the crowd behind me is crazy as Lindy Puckett now will come in for Callie Feddersen. That'll be 2 now on Hannah Sparks. As Rosa now will bring it up for Lamar, working against Sparks. Now she flips it out to Rangel. Rangel shot off the mark, picked up by Puckett. Now Puckett over to Vigil. Vigil back over to Dogan. Now Dogan and Quayle all alone, and Dogan puts up the shot, no good. And the tip up by Talia will go in. I'm going to give the points to Noah Talia for that. As now the steal on the other end of the court as Ange Vigil comes up with the basketball and over to Sparks. Now Sparks over to Puckett. Puckett just inside the three-point line, hits it. So Lindy hits double digits now, 60-42, favor of the Cougars. And Rosa now over to Mestis. Now Mestis kicks it back over to Rangel. Rangel back out to Vigil. Vigil with the three-pointer. Off the mark, no good, but they're going to say last touch by Liz Dogan. And coming in for Lamar now will be Jimenez and Roth. Going off will be Rangel and Vigil. So it'll stop the scoring threat for Lamar for a little while here as Roth gets playing time. But Quayle puts up a long three-pointer. Comes down into the hands of Talia. Back the other way now over to Puckett. Puckett slows things up. Finds Sparks in the middle. Almost picked off, but Sparks able to get it under to Dogan. Dogan with the jumper, and it's good. So Liz Dogan now with 10 points in the double-double and playing like she can. As Liz tearing it up now, Roth will drive to the lane and loses the basketball, but comes back up with it, gets the shot off. And fans are wanting the travel right there, but they're not going to get it as Dogan now comes back the other way for WNCC. And Dogan will flip it out to Talia. Talia back over to Vigil. Now Vigil will back up and set up the offense over to the left side to Sparks. Now Sparks drives to the lane. Back over to Vigil. Vigil with the jumper at the free throw line. Good. So Vigil extends this Cougar lead to 20, 64-44, but a long three-pointer by Quayle is off the mark, no good. Rebound in the hands of Roth, but her shot is no good. Now Dogan will come up with it. Back over to Puckett. Puckett with the short jumper there, in and out, no good, but working for the rebound underneath is the Cougars. And they're going to say that was out on Lamar, so it will be. Or are they saying that was out on WNCC? Nope, they're saying it was out on Lamar's. Sparks now will bring it in to Puckett. Puckett with the jumper, no good. Into the hands of, looks like, Rosa. Now back out to Quayle. Quayle with the long three-pointer. It's up and bounce up, no good. Rebound, Dogan. Dogan will get it over to Aslan in the game now for the Cougars. Aslan working down the middle, back out to Sparks. Sparks with the jumper. No good. As now is picked up by Vanderpool, but picked off by Aslan. Now over to Talia. And Talia with the putback. And the Cougars are pumped up right now as Noah Talia just capitalized on a ball going out of bounds. Goche Aslan hustles over, saves it inbounds to Talia. Talia able to put it in and off the glass for the points. And she draws the foul in the process. So Noah Talia going to try and make it an old-fashioned three-point play here at the line for the Cougars as Havili awaits to come in. And Aslan and Sparks talking about it there at half court as Talia's shot is up and goes in. It is good. So Noah Talia with 9 now here for the Cougars. 67-44 on your Alex TLC scoreboard. Cougars trying to get through this last 10 minutes of the game. 10:43 left to play in the game as Rosa will drop back and go for the three-pointer, but it's going to go out of bounds. And Dave Harnish not happy about something over there, but it will be Cougar basketball. As the ball goes under the bleachers, so it takes a minute for them to get it. The referee actually has one of the players go get it. And Abi Lujan will come in for Dogan. So Abi, all these sophomores having a great game here tonight against Lamar. As Abi will inbound it to Sparks now. Back over to Lujan. Now back to Sparks. Sparks down that left side. Almost fouled by Rosa, but no call. As Lujan finds Puckett over there just inside the three-point line again. And there's Puckett. She's not doing it from the three-point line, but she's got 12 from the field. As I'm not even sure the Cougars have a three-pointer in this game, as that shot is up and no good. Comes down into the hands of Lujan. Now back over to Goche. Goche gets it down to Puckett underneath, all alone, up for the layup, and it's good. So Lindy Puckett doing it from everywhere right now. 14 points for the sophomore. As now another steal by Goche Aslan, and she'll take it all the way to the hoop. And she is taken down, but no call. But Goche picks up her 4th point of the night here. 73-44, the Cougars blowing it open. And doing it on defense and the boards. They're not doing it from outside as they have not hit a three-pointer in this game. And now Vigil working against Avili. Vigil with the jumper, but Lujan comes down with the board. And Aslan puts a move on Vigil and tripped by Vigil. And she's going to get called for the foul. That'll be 4 on Khadijah Vigil, who Goche just went around her, got caught up in her feet and went down. So non-shooting foul here. That's only the 3rd foul here on Lamar here in the second half. 73-44 in favor of the Cougars. Inbounded to Avili. Back over to Sparks. Now Sparks over to Aslan. Aslan underneath to Lujan, and she's blocked, but a foul will be called. That looks like Jimenez. Gabriela Jimenez picks up her 2nd foul, and she got a hand on Abi Lujan going up for the shot. So Abi will go to the line. And the first shot is up and good. So Lujan has 7 points now, trying to make it 8. 9:13 left to play here in the second half as Lujan's 2nd shot is up and good. So Cougars getting it done all over the board here, all over the bench, as a pass picked off by Havili, intended for Vigil, and Havili steps in front of it. Now a foul will be called on Lamar in transition, and they're going to call that one on Jimenez again. That'll be, or no, I take that back. They're going to call that on Vanessa Mestis, her first, as the ball is inbounded to Puckett. Now back over to Havili. Havili over to Sparks. Sparks with the jumper. It's good. Hannah Sparks extends this lead to 77-44. And Lamar just looking for something open as Rosa tries to drive the lane. She'll be cut off by Sparks. Now Sparks working on Romaldo. And rebound comes down to Puckett as the shot was off the mark. Now press on Goche. She'll get it over to Sparks. Now back over to Aslan. Oslin over to Puckett now. Puckett driving the baseline. Jumper. Good. Lindy Puckett. I've never seen a night where she had more field goals than three-pointers, but tonight she has 16, all from the field. As now Jimenez is working against Havili. Shot up, nowhere close. Comes down to Havili, back over to Oslin. Oslin now flips it over to Lujan in transition in the fast break. Working for the Cougars, but Aubie's shot up and no good as it goes out of bounds off the hands of a Lamar player. Looks like Rongel may have gotten a hand in on that one. So Havili will sit now, and we will see our first minutes from Brooke Zimmerman. But first, the timeout is called, and the Cougars have been on. I'm going to have to check how big this run is, but the Cougars have just lit onto fire here in this second half. Started things out only up 43-32, and it's now 79-44, so the Cougars have really put it to. I'm not going to do the math here. That's just too much for me, but Cougars doing it here in the second half. And take a minute to thank our BSN sponsors again, Runza Westco, Logos, NTC, Platte Valley Companies, Scottsbluff Body and Paint, Waste Connections, First State Bank, Shank Roofing, Scottsbluff Screen Printing, Advertising Specialties, WNCC, Bacharachs, High Tech Auto, and Century Lumber. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to bring you this game. Also, the everybody making this tournament happen here for the Cougars, from Ryan Bergner to the volleyball players working the doors and the concession stands, and soccer players working up in the concession stand. I think I've seen Todd Rasnick up there every day this week. Doug Jones working on the sidelines for both teams, and just a big help as Zimmerman takes the inbound pass. Hook shot up, no good. Comes down into the hands of Lujan, but she's picked off by Rongel. Now back the other way goes Lamar, as now Vigil will put it up, and she's going to be called, or she's going to be fouled by Zimmerman, and Zimmerman just a big smile on her face. Like, I don't want to get in front of that. So Brooke Zimmerman will pick up her first in the game here, as Vigil will go to the line. And her first shot is up and good. So Khadijah Veal stops the bleeding momentarily, as the Cougars have hit 18 in a row. And Veal's second shot is up and good for 18 points for Khadijah Veal. Cougars back the other way now over to Lujan. Lujan over to Sparks on that left side. Sparks all alone with the shot up, no good. Rebound comes in the hands of Frazier, but she loses the basketball. Zimmerman comes back up and puts it up for the Cougars. Zimmerman with the putback, and now a steal on the other end of the court by Hannah Sparks. And everybody will have to hurry to get back here as Sparks sets up the offense over underneath the Zimmerman. Now out to Lujan for the jumper, no good. But fight for the ball underneath. Now we'll see who gets called for the foul here. As they're going to call, are they going to call Brooke Zimmerman for her second? Yes, they will. Brooke Zimmerman picks up her second foul, so she's making some noise here with all the more playing time she's getting here. 2 fouls and 2 points. And my stat man over here is writing me a note. It looks like Abby Lujan needs 2 points for the double-double. So we've got 2 other players already in double-double figures, and Abby Lujan just needs 2 points as Veal puts up her first shot. And it goes down to give her 19 now to lead Lamar. So 7:14 left to play, 81-47 Cougars. Second shot off the mark, no good, into the hands of Zimmerman. Zimmerman now gets it to Oslin. Oslin now working against 3 Lamar players, and she'll get through them. And that's going to leave them a little peaked on the other end, and she flips it out to Puckett. And they're going to call Oslin, as we've seen it so many times before. They're going to call Goche for the charge underneath, as she was dishing it out to Lindy Puckett. And so that'll be 3 fouls now on Goche Oslin. And so Lamar back the other way now, out to Quayle. Back over to Rosa. Rosa over to Mestis. Mestis now underneath to Vigil. Vigil working against Zimmerman, and she's blocked, and it goes out of bounds. And they're going to say that's out on Vigil. So Zimmerman gets the block now. Zimmerman will bring it in. And that ball's tipped out of bounds by Vigil. So now Tish Richards, who's come into the game for the Cougars, she'll do the inbounding duties for the Cougars. As now she'll working against Vigil. Now shot down the sideline there. Too much for Puckett, though. Goes out of bounds. So the turnover gives the ball back to Lamar. 6:47 left to play here. Quayle into Rosa. Back over to Mestis now. Back over to Quayle. Quayle on the outside, and that is Jimenez for three, and that'll go off the mark and into the hands of Tish Richards, but a jump ball will be called as Rosa and Richards were going for the basketball. The possession arrow pointing for Lamar, and Tish Richards gets a little bit of an ovation as she goes back out of the game now. Ball into Vigil. Vigil back out to Jimenez for three, up no good. Rebound into the hands of, looks like Vigil comes up with it after a scrum on the floor and a play underneath by Jimenez, no good, but Vigil's going to drive back in, and she's going to draw the foul underneath as it was ugly under there. And that's going to be another foul on Goche. Goche now has 4. So once again, we see the smallest player on the court fouling the largest player on the court, as the first one's off front iron, no good for Vigil. She has been to the line a ton tonight for Lamar. Like I said, already with 19 points. Second shot up, off front iron, no good. Into the hands of Feddersen. Now Feddersen back the other way. Looking for help, and she'll find it in Hannah Sparks up the middle now. Hannah going to drive it right to the basket all alone, but she misses the layup. Brooke Zimmerman comes up with the rebound. Back out to Sparks. Sparks finds the baseline, and they're going to call a travel as she went up with the ball. It was in the bucket, but they call a travel on Sparks. Turnover on the Cougars. Gives it back to Lamar as Jimenez now brings it up the court on that left side. She'll work toward the middle. Back out to Rosa. Rosa for three, and is off the mark. No good. Rebound Puckett. And now Puckett will flip it over to Sparks. Now Sparks working on 2 Lamar players. She'll go right around them. Into the hands of Feddersen now to Puckett. Puckett all alone. Off the glass. In and out. No good. Rebound Quill. She'll get it out to Messes. Now Messes back the other way. And Messes now working toward the middle. And she'll take it all the way by herself. Teardrop up and good. Off the glass. And I take that back. That was Grimaldo. As Grimaldo gets the points there, but back the other way goes Feddersen out to Puckett. Now Puckett back out to Aslan. Puckett for three. Good. First three-pointer of the night. Lindy Puckett finally gets one, and that gives her 19 in the game. And an 84-49 lead for the Cougars as Lamar now back the other way. Now Grimaldo for three, and it's off the mark, no good. Into the hands of Sparks now back the other way. 2-on-2. Sparks working on Rosas. And back out to the middle, back over to Oslin. Oslin over to Lindy, and Lindy up for the two-pointer, in and out, no good. Rebound, Quayle. And here comes Grimaldo back the other way. She flips it over to Vigil. Vigil now working on Sparks. Sparks gets a hand in there. And they're going to call that. They're going to call a charge on Vigil. And that will be 5 on Vigil. And the Lamar players not happy with what they just saw there, as Hannah Sparks did get a hand on the ball, but a charge called against Vigil, and that will foul her out with 4:32 left to play. So the leading scorer for Lamar is now a non-factor for the Cougars, and the press is on as Zimmerman gets it over to Sparks. Now Sparks over the timeline. Sparks working to that right side, over to Tish Richards now. She'll kick it back out to Sparks. Sparks over to Feddersen. Feddersen in the middle of the lane now, and she'll draw the foul off Rangel. Miroslava Rangel picks up her first. That'll send Feddersen to the line, as that is 7 now. Team fouls on Lamar. And Feddersen's first shot is up and good. So Feddersen now with 6 here. It extends the lead 85-49. 4:16 left to play here in the second half. Second shot up and good. So Feddersen with her 6th and 7th point there. 86-49 Cougars on our Alex TLC scoreboard. Quayle with a long three-pointer again. I think somebody needs to point out where the line is for her. She's been shooting that three-point ball from about 4 or 5 feet outside the line as Tish Richards now get it over to Sparks. Sparks going to take it all the way by herself, and she's fouled on the floor. Or they're going to say she's fouled on the shot, holding up 2 fingers. She'll go to the line for 2, and that call will be on, that's number 2 on Kimmy Roth. So Sparks to the line. First shot is up and no good. So 3:56 left to play here. 86-49. The Cougars have been on fire this second half. Second shot up by Sparks is up and good. So Sparks picks up her 5th point of the night. Rosa comes back the other way now over to Rongel. Rongel tries the baseline, but it's picked away by, it looks like Richards got a hand in there and in the hands of Sparks. Now Sparks working up the middle. Now Sparks kicks it out to Puckett. Puckett for 3. In and out, no good. But Zimmerman there for the rebound. And Puckett's going to take another shot, and it's good. So all she needed was another shot. And she's got 21 now for the Cougars. As Rosa now doing things all by herself, and she's going to get fouled underneath. She made a spin move in the paint there and went for the basket. And I think they're going to call Brooke Zimmerman again. And we'll wait till the official scorekeeper puts it up on the board as Rosa's first shot is up and good. So 3 points for Rosa. They're actually going to call that one on Tish Richards. It's her first. And now we're going to see our first action. Who is that in there for the Cougars? Second shot up, no good. Now in the game for WNCC, Andrea Baker, the 5'10 freshman from Pine Bluffs. And she's going to take the shot underneath, and it's good. So Andrea Baker comes in for 10 seconds and gets points. 32. And Callie Feddersen gets a hand on that pass, put it back into the hands of Quayle. Quayle's shot up, no good. Taken down by Zimmerman. Zimmerman working hard. And into the hands of Sparks. Now over to Feddersen. Feddersen shot up, no good. Back into the hands of Rosa. Back the other way. Now fast break to Roth. Up, no good. Fight for the rebound. Comes down in the hands of Zimmerman. Now Zimmerman will be fouled by Roth. As Zimmerman had control of the basketball. But Roth put her hand in there, and she'll get nailed for her 3rd. And that's 9 team fouls now on Lamar. That'll send Zimmerman to the line as Callie Feddersen gets a standing ovation from her teammates coming out of the game. And Beth Beeston will now take the floor, the 5'11 freshman from Lehigh, Utah. As Zimmerman's first shot is up and off the mark, no good. Almost saved by Richards. She can't quite get to it, though. Lamar basketball. So good move by Tish Richards to try and save that on the miss. But it will come back the other way as Rosa will flip it out to Grimaldo. Grimaldo flips it back out to Rosa. Now Rosa working back toward the middle. Over to Grimaldo. Grimaldo underneath to Roth. Now Roth with the turnaround jumper. No good. Into the hands of Zimmerman again. So Zimmerman with another rebound gets it out to Sparks. Now working on Beeston. Beeston passes it over to Richards. Now Richards setting up for 3. Off the mark, no good. Into the hands of Baker, though. Baker comes up with the rebound. Now they're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow going the Cougars' way. 2:14 left to play here in the game. 91-50. 41-point lead for the Cougars. As inbounded to Zimmerman now back underneath the Baker. Baker flips it back out to Beeston. Now Beeston makes a move back into the lane, and she's going to get stuffed. All ball. They're going to call that jump ball as Roth got a hand on that ball. Possession arrow going for Lamar. So Lamar will get the ball back. 2:07 left to play. Grimaldo comes out. Coming back in now is Vanessa Mestis for Lamar as Jimenez now flips over to Quayle. Quayle working toward that right side, and a foul will be called underneath on the shot. And I think they're holding up Andrea Baker's number. Nope, Beth Beeston picks up her first. So Beth Beeston Picks up her first foul as Quayle's first shot is off the mark, no good. And Quayle will go back to the line as they are in the double bonus here. And Quayle, second shot is up and good. So Quayle been kind of quiet here in the second half, only with 11 for the game. So that's her first point of the second half as Sparks flips it over to Beeston. Now Beeston puts a move on Quayle. She'll flip it out to Richards. Now Richards moves toward the middle. Now Richards will back out. She'll get it over to Zimmerman. Zimmerman back out to Sparks. Now Sparks over to Beeston. Beeston for three. Off the mark, no good. Fight underneath for the ball. Tipped up in the air now into the hands. And Richards diving for the basketball. Tish Richards laying it on the floor as that was Lamar basketball. And it looked like Mestis had control of it, but as she lost it a little bit, Tish Richards goes flying through the air, gets the basketball, jump ball called now, Cougar basketball. And they'll inbound it to Beeston. Beeston over to Sparks. Now Sparks in the middle to Zimmerman. Zimmerman loses it though. Here comes Mestis back the other way, 1-on-2. And she's going to drive into Sparks and put it up off the glass and good. So Mestis picks up her first points of the game now as Tish Richards just took Quayle to the floor. Held on to the basketball, though. Flips it underneath to Baker. Baker out to Zimmerman now. Zimmerman, they're going to say that's Lamar basketball as Quayle and Zimmerman both going for the basketball. Tipped out of bounds. And it goes under the stands again. And Quayle will retrieve it. And she'll also bring it into Rosa here. 57 seconds left to play. The Cougars will move on to play Central Wyoming tomorrow night at 7 right here on Z1013 as Jimenez hits the three. But to no avail here. 91-56, 45 seconds left to play. Beeston back the other way for the Cougars. As she finds Zimmerman at the free throw line. Back over to Richards now. Tipped out of bounds, and they're going to say it's out on Richards. Quayle got a hand on it, but Tish almost able to come back up with it. Couldn't quite get the handle on it, and it goes out of bounds. So Rosa brings it back the other way now over to Mestis for three, and it's good. So Mestis, a couple of quick three-pointers here by Lamar, but it's going to be too little too late as Beeston gets it over the timeline and throws it out of bounds. Nobody home for the Cougars. It goes into the Cougar bench. And Dave Harnish, even though he's got a huge lead here, doesn't like what he just saw. And the inbound from Quayle to Rosa. Back over to Quayle now. Back to Rosa. Around that left side now. She's going to find Jimenez on the outside. Jimenez hits a three. So Jimenez, that's 9 straight points here by Lamar. As Zimmerman is now fouled at the half-court line. She's kind of holding up her hands like, what was that all about? 5.4 seconds left to play. 91-62 as Brooke Zimmerman will go to the line for the Cougars and try and add some more to this lead. Now, this Lamar team is a team that has scored 100 points a few times this year, so great job by the Cougars as Zimmerman's first shot is no good. And I'm just being handed, that was 13 in a row by Lamar, so 13-point run. As the second shot by Zimmerman is up and good. So Brooke Zimmerman, the 3 points here. And that's going to probably do it here as Jimenez puts up a three-pointer to end the game. No good. 92-62, the Cougars prevail. They will move on to Central Wyoming tomorrow night here at Cougar Palace. And we'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back for the Platte Valley Company's postgame show here on Z1013.
Everyone you meet is a potential customer. If you're wearing your company's logo on your shirt, jacket, or hat, you're promoting your company. And since it's that simple, get your employees to advertise for you too by wearing your company's product. It just makes good business sense. In Stitches and Ad Specialties can put your brand on anything. Keep your name in front of those customers and give your company